Trish, first of all, on behalf of the Maricopa County Bar Association, let me congratulate you on becoming the president of the ABA. All Arizona lawyers are justly proud of you for many reasons, including that you are now the second ABA president from Arizona and the first woman from our state to hold that office. So congratulations.
Well, thank you, Chaz. I figure, once every 72 years, whether we need it or not, Arizona ought to get an ABA president, right?
Okay. Well, I was once in Judge Craig's courtroom. Maybe someday I'll be in yours.
I doubt that.
Okay. Trish, bar presidents at any level typically take office with a long, pondered platform and plan of action. You, however, take office at a time of seemingly daily evolution of personal and professional life. Previously unimagined challenges to our judicial system and national economic, social, and political controversies. How has this affected your plans and goals for the year to come?
Well, there's no question that recent events, everything that's happened in these last 4 or 5 months, have changed what the American Bar Association is focused on in the short term, but not so much maybe in the long term. So we are definitely focused on the pandemic. We are focused in 2 different ways. One, what does this mean for lawyers? Our practice is changing. How we practice is changing. The way in which we practice, whether we do it in our offices or in our family rooms or in our kitchens. So we have a task force that is focused exclusively around those sorts of questions. How is the practice of law changing as a consequence of this pandemic? What changes will be permanent? And if they become permanent, what things does the profession need to do to adjust and catch up, from ethics to professional responsibility issues to courtroom skills, which are different if you're appearing virtually than if you are appearing in person. So that's one set of issues that we're very focused on. The second and deeply important pandemic-related issue that we're focused on is the tsunami of legal needs that are going to arise in our country and that are arising already as a consequence of this pandemic, whether it is evictions or foreclosures, bankruptcies, domestic violence, debt collection. All of these things have been magnified as a consequence of the pandemic and hit our underserved communities disproportionately. So we are mobilizing with the help of our partners in the legal services community, the Lawyers of America, to help to address those unmet legal needs. The second big issue that has come to all of us more urgently in these last months is the issue of racial equity and systemic racism in our country, in our justice system, the work we still need to do in all of our practice settings as lawyers, and the work we need to do as a nation to move past the twin evils of unconscious bias and systemic racism. So I would say that both of those 2 things, those 2 pandemics facing America, are the things that the ABA is going to be most focused on in the near term.
So with all the challenges before you and the controversy swirling around us, do you see some silver lining in all of this?
I do, Chaz. I do see a silver lining, and here's what I think it is. We have an opportunity to be change agents right now in a way that I'm not sure we've had in a very long time. And when I say we, I mean we as lawyers, and I mean we as the organized bar. This is a moment in which I think we can make change internally and externally in ways that will really make a difference. And so to me, that is a silver lining.
Very good. Trish, in addition to your lengthy and extensive service to the ABA, I know you have an active law practice and you're a wife and a mother. Inquiring minds want to know, how do you do it?
I try to be pretty organized, but you know, like everybody, I make mistakes and things fall through the cracks every once in a while. I've learned over the years to prioritize the things that really I think matter. Obviously, my clients and the work for my clients in large measure, first and foremost, but my family is really important to me. Our son is a rising sophomore at NAU. He's been stuck at home since spring break, as most college kids have. And I work really hard, even in a non-pandemic world, to try to make sure that we sit down together, the three of us, for a family dinner in the evening. That was important to me when I was growing up, and it's important to me now that, you know, I've finished raising mostly a young man. So that's a priority that I just make time for because I value it and think it's deeply important. So if you put your energy into the things that matter the most to you, I think that's the best advice for staying, frankly, organized.
You are some kind of superwoman.
No, I'm just somebody who is very fortunate to have had lots of wonderful opportunities in my life, and I'm determined to make sure I capitalize on all of them.
You've done that well. Trish, although law school admissions and graduations of men and women have essentially equalized over time, the longevity and advancement of women in the legal profession are not consistent with what seems to be equal law school opportunity. What advice do you have for new or young women lawyers?
So my principal advice for young women lawyers is this. You've got to take responsibility on day one of your own career, because nobody is going to care as much ever about your career as you do. You've got to own it, and you've got to make it what you want it to be by reaching out for opportunities and by asking for opportunities. I was never afraid, I don't think, of walking into someone's office who was my senior and saying, "Hi, I just heard you got this really interesting new case in, and I'd like to work on it." Or saying to a senior partner on a case I was already on, "I know there's this deposition coming up of Mr. Smith. I think I'm ready to take that deposition and I'd like to have that opportunity." So ask for what you want and work really hard and stick with it. We've made a lot of progress in the years that I've been practicing law. We still have a long way to go, but I'm proud of the progress that we have made, and that gives me energy around the work that still remains.
Yeah, very good. Membership in the ABA is voluntary. What is your elevator pitch to lawyers to join the ABA?
You know, one of the things about the ABA is that we can be too many things to all people sometimes. But here's the important thing. The ABA throughout my entire life and career has made me a better lawyer. It's given me opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. It's taught me things in terms of my specialty that I wouldn't know otherwise. And it taught me as a young lawyer how to hang out with the leaders of the generation ahead of me and learn from them. It was a great opportunity. So on a personal level, it makes you a better person and a better lawyer. But equally important is that the organized bar together makes a difference in our country every day on issues big and small in so many different ways. We all went to law school because we want to help people. We want to be part of making a difference. And the organized bar, especially the American Bar Association, is a great opportunity to do that.
Thank you. Well, how can lawyers, no matter what their practice setting might be, become involved in the ABA?
Well, we have a website that is the first place to start with lots of information that we hope is searchable based on what it is you're looking for. Some people want to get involved in order to pursue their particular interests in a particular slice of legal specialty. And I guarantee you we have a committee on just about everything. Justice Breyer just said at our annual meeting something close to the ABA is an organization with about 200,000 lawyers and about 500,000 committees, which I thought was pretty insightful. So it can be overwhelming, but if you're looking for a particular slice of the legal world, we've got a committee for that. And we also have all sorts of other pieces of the ABA that are around justice issues, more intangible, perhaps kinds of things. If you have a passion for jury trials, for example, we have groups that work to protect and expand the use of jury trials. If you're interested in employment law, we have lots of groups focused on that. We have groups focused on doing pro bono work and providing legal services for the folks in our country, too many of whom do not have access to legal services. So there are any number of ways that you can get involved in the ABA if you choose to do that. And I'd start with our website. And if you don't find what you're looking for on the website, call me or send me an email and I'll get you to the right place.
Okay, I'm ready to take down your phone number now. What can lawyers in Arizona, and specifically those of us in Maricopa County, do to help you and the ABA in this coming year?
Well, the first thing you can do is, if you're not a member, you can think about joining. We've just revamped our member value proposition. We have, I think, even more value to provide to you for the dues dollar that you pay, and I'm proud of the additional value that we are providing to our members. But the other thing I think that Maricopa County can help with, and Arizona lawyers in general, is this. We've always been kind of at the front edge of innovating, of trying new things, of seeing whether a new way of doing something in the practice of law might actually work better than the old ways. We're going to need that energy and that innovative thinking as we come out of this pandemic. And the help of a bunch of smart and creative Arizona lawyers will make a big difference.
Good. Well, I can't wrap this up without bringing up someone special. You know, the audience for this, whether they see it on video or read about it in the Maricopa Lawyer, are all familiar with John Bauma. And I know how special he is to you. In fact, how important he is to so many of us. I wanted to give you a chance to speak to John for a moment, if you would.
Well, he was the biggest towering presence in the Arizona legal community that I have the privilege to know and to work with. He hired me as a partner at Snell 24 years ago, and I had the chance to work with him on cases and on law firm matters and on ABA matters for all of those years. An extraordinarily gifted lawyer who lived a life of service to the bar, service to the community, and just service to people. I was so fortunate to be in his orbit for the years that I was, and I miss him almost every day, and hope that I do him proud in my service as ABA president.
I'm sure that you will. So in James Lipton style, I'm not going to ask you what your favorite curse word is. But if there's anything more that you would like to add, please, this is your opportunity.
No, the only thing I guess I should add is when I think about the value of the American Bar Association, the reason I'm in Arizona is because of the American Bar Association, because I met my husband, Don Bivens, at an ABA meeting 1,000 years ago. And we did the long distance thing for a while. And when we got married, I moved to Arizona from Chicago on the ground that married people should live in the same city. So you never know. The ABA can really change your life.
That's great. I'm glad you brought up Don because I neglected to do so. And he'll now be pleased.
Yeah, I saved us, Chaz.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you. All right. That's all I have, Trish. Thank you very much. I look forward to watching you in action this year.
Thanks so much. I appreciate your help and your support. You're part of what got me here, Chaz. So thank you.
An infinitely small part. Thank you. All right.